The NBA gave us 11 games on this here Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So let's dive into one matchup taking place in Philadelphia with the Houston Rockets and the Philadelphia 76ers, who appear to be getting back their reigning MVP in Joel Embiid.
Yeah, you know what? This is not the first matchup of the season for the Rockets in Philadelphia, the Sixers. This is actually the second one. In the first one, the Sixers blew out the Rockets. So, and now that Joel Embiid is getting back, this is going to be really interesting to watch. What I can say is this: the Houston Rockets will give you a fight. It's going to be a fight, and Ime Udoka will make sure that I'm quite sure he has some tricks up his sleeves. And what I do appreciate about the Houston Rockets is that they know how to get on defense, and Ime Udoka has ingrained um, that other side of the basketball, which is defense, into the Houston Rockets, and I think it's great. So yeah, I just can't wait to see what that looks like when we're talking about two defensive top five, I think maybe top six, top 10 to be exact, defensive minded teams go up against one another in the
Mm-hmm.
second matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
Yes. Yeah, it should be because the first time they played, the Sixers were without Embiid and Nicholas Batum, and the Rockets were without Dylan Brooks and Jabari Smith Jr. So key pieces did not play in the first matchup, but the Rockets right now in their last 10 games, they have gone 4-6. So I think there's a little bit of desperation to kind of
Mm-hmm.
knock off, this kind of lackluster play here recently, whereas the
Yeah,
Sixers have gone 5-5 without their superstar Joel Embiid.
that
So
is true.
yeah, yeah.
That's true. You know what? Dylan Brooks is he still game time decision?
Yeah, he played against the Boston Celtics the other night, so I expect him to be back. I expect Joel to be back, hopefully. But I expect Joel Embiid to have a couple cobwebs in his game. Be a little rusty because he's missed a lot of time recently.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully, Sagoon will take advantage of it. Because
Yes,
this would
yes.
be the opportunity to do that. Since Joel Embiid is coming back, he's been out for a minute. Yeah, Sagoon, because you young and been playing for a minute. Hopefully he'll
Hmm.
take advantage of that, especially in the paint. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. One of the challenges I have for the Houston Rockets is they're a subpar team on the road. I believe they're 4-13 on the road, whereas the Sixers, since the game will be taking place in Philadelphia, they're 14-6. So they do have a winning record at home, and it's going to be challenging for the Houston Rockets to come in and try to sneak one, even though Joel Embiid will be back. Dylan Brooks came back from injury against the Celtics. He had an okay game, but Kelly Oubre is out right now. I don't know if he'll be back. Robert
Right,
Covington and Joel
right.
Embiid. So we're talking about life for the Philadelphia
Yeah,
76ers.
exactly, exactly. But you cannot miss the fact that Tyrese Maxey will be there, and so he can give you a little something. So I am looking forward to seeing that Tyrese Maxey and Fred Van Fleet. What Fred gonna do? Fred, what you gonna do? You gonna be able to stay in front of Tyrese?
Mm. Maxie got the jet. See her? He is so fast. It's
I
nothing you can
know,
do.
I
It's
know,
nothing
I
you can do.
know, I know. I wonder though, will Fred Van Fleet, particularly at the point guard position, will he turn on like he did in that last game in the fourth quarter? What game was I watching? I forget who they were against. I'm sorry, I watched the game, but I forgot who the players.
Detroit Pistons. He
Yes,
dropped 17 in the
yes.
fourth.
I was
Hmm.
like, hey, 2019 Fred Van Fleet. I mean, will he do that? Will he do that? He may have to against the Sixers. If he has another game like that, then there it can be hope for the Houston Rockets not to have a blowout. If they don't do nothing else, please don't get a blowout.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Victor Oladipo is set to come back today.
Why? Why?
I was like, oh,
Victor Oladipo, just real quick, make it 10 minutes, maybe. What? And that's if they only, and that's if they in garbage time.
yeah. I wouldn't suggest Vic come back against the Philadelphia 76ers, especially he probably
No,
gonna have to,
no.
take on Maxi.
He come
Uh,
with them
I,
knee.
we'll see. All right, so look, Tobias Harris has been balling lately. This is his contract year,
Of course,
right? And with
financial.
Joel Embiid out, I think he dropped 37 points one game. I'm
He
like,
did.
oh, hey, Toby, trying to get that contract, huh?
Yep.
Nah,
You say no, why?
because this is if you remember last season, we were like, dang, where's Tobias Harris go? Remember all up in the playoffs, where
Disappeared.
Tobias Harris going? Now all of a sudden you want to ball. Now,
Yeah.
granted, Joel Embiid has been out, so it's been more opportunity for him. But this is just fool's gold at this point. I say,
I
yeah,
don't buy it.
yeah.
Don't buy it, Sixers. No, don't buy it. Don't buy it at the max. That's probably what I would say. If you're gonna buy it, maybe get it on discount, I guess. But yeah, no. Tobias Harris has had many opportunities, especially in the playoffs, to show and prove. And for some reason, you don't see him on the floor. I mean, although he's on the floor, like did he disappear? What's going on? And if they want to pay for that, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Speaking of Tyrese Maxey, we talk about his pace and how he's like the Energizer Bunny on the Philadelphia Sixers team. And I read somewhere where he's like on the move to become most improved player of the year for this season. And I'm like, I can't get mad at it. As a matter of fact, he needs to be an all-star. Let's start there.
Oh yeah,
Let's start
definitely.
there. Let's start
Mm-hmm.
there. So yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
that and that's why I mentioned what will Fred do. I mean, maybe Jalen Green can, bang up against him. I don't know because I just don't see Fred staying in front of Tyrese Maxey. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. The funny thing is you talk about Tyrese Maxey, but Patrick Beverly thinks he
Mm.
should win Defensive Player of the Year.
Wh-
I don't see it.
What 2024 season?
Yeah, I don't see it.
No.
I
Oh
don't see
man.
it. Pat Bev, I mean, I think it's going to be a big man this year. They went small last couple of years, right? Actually, Jaren Jackson won it last year, but prior to that, Marcus Smart, right? And Pat
Yes.
Bev thinks, a guard should win it this year. I don't think so.
And if a guard does win it, Pat Bev. Okay. Hey, you know what though? It's nothing wrong aspiring to, you know, reach that pinnacle. And if he wants to be that and he puts in the effort, I don't see why he shouldn't think he should. I don't go for it.
Okay, look, so remember Jacques Landale came in from the Phoenix Suns, and we were like,
Yes.
oh, yeah. Now he's with the Houston Rockets. He has logged a couple DMPs by Coach Ime Udoka. I
Mhm.
think in this matchup, Jacques Landale can have a big impact. So I'm hoping to see him more on the court
Yeah.
because at 6'11", 255, I'm sure you could use that against Joel Embiid, Paul Reed, or even Mo Bamba.
Okay, let's just be honest. You will not be big enough. You will not be strong enough. You will not have enough finesse against Joel Embiid. He gonna get it. He gonna get it how he feel. So that's it. But maybe if Reed is in there, perhaps But Embiid he gonna get his regardless. Once he backs into you,
Ah,
yeah. Because once Joel Embiid backs into you, what you gonna do? And then he turn around and then he do the the layup.
mhm,
And he's just a floater. I'm like, what you gonna do with that?
yeah.
It's skills. And so, yeah, I think he's going to get his regardless. But again, if you want to use Jacques Landale, use him when Joel Embiid is sitting on the bench.
He'll be good for a couple fouls on the big fella, I think. Slow him down a little bit. So
So,
I'm in Thompson, right? Houston Rockets, we're real excited about them drafting him.
yeah.
What's going on with Amin now in comparison to his brother Asur up in Detroit? They're about what and what right now? It's a
Yeah.
lot for these two rookies, in particular Amin Thompson, because the Houston Rockets are a pretty deep and talented team.
Yeah. Not this season. I'd say maybe season 3. Hopefully he'll have a breakout, but it's not going to be season 1. Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't think he fits into what Ime Udoka wants to do right now. Right now. And I don't
Hmm.
think he has a time because if you think about it, Ime Udoka is back coaching after the disaster he went through, with outside out of the court um, with the Boston Celtics. I think that he has something to prove this season, and the fact that the Houston Rockets are in top 10 in the West says a lot about what he's brought to their organization. And so I think he has a lot more to do, and people and the coaching staff have a lot more to do to make sure that they stay competitive and that they maintain at least a play-in tournament positioning by the end of the season. And I don't think player development is really at the top of the list. I don't see it. Not for this first season with Ime Udoka as a head coach. Now,
Hmm.
maybe season 2 and 3, once he's comfortable, he feels solid in that role as a coach, then maybe we'll start developing him. But
Mhm.
He needs development. And I'm surprised they haven't sent him down to the G League, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. That would be good for him to get some
No,
runs, keep
yes.
his confidence
Yes,
up, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And he will not be the first player that has been drafted high and had to go sit and, play in the G League, then come back and ball out. So I think it's a great move for him. I think that's probably where he should go for sometime in this season, and then just come back. But I can tell you, I don't think it's a priority to develop him right now. Nope.
Yeah, yeah. I have to agree with you because we should be seeing more than
Yes,
we don't, right?
that is correct.
All right. So as it relates to the outcome of this game on Martin Luther King Day, who you got? Sixers or the Rockets?
Sixers. Oh, hands down. Sixers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have Sixers. Although the Rockets, I'm quite sure they'll do a valiant effort to really be competitive, and they'll make some probably some pretty interesting plays against the Sixers. I think the Sixers will prevail because they are a better team overall. They have better players. Joel Embiid is back. If Tobias Harris keeps up his, momentum, but what? I mean, you got Tyrese Maxey. I got all these other players as well, and so I just don't think that right now at this part of the season that the Rockets have enough to overcome what the Sixers can bring to them. So yeah, I have the Sixers coming out of this victorious.
Okay. And I'm going with the Houston Rockets
Good.
because the consequences of them losing are far greater in the West. They're teetering to, maybe the 10th or 11th spot right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
thanks to the Utah Jazz leapfrogging them and the Warriors and the Lakers playing horrible right now.
Yep.
So the consequences for the Rockets are much greater. So I'm going to go with them. I think it's going to be regionally televised and they want to put on the show. So yeah, Houston
Okay.
Rockets.
That's fair.